We are now doing lesson 29, if I remember. And
Yes.
we are working on the political forces. Looking at political forces. We have done the economic forces. We also did the case study analysis of the economic microenvironment. So with this lesson, we are going to be looking at political forces that shape digital marketing. And at the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand understand taxation. You should be able to understand taxation. You should be able to understand social media and political change. So these are the key terms that you need to be well aware of that we are going to be covering throughout this session. E-government, internet governance, democracy, taxation, and political change. Is there any term displayed there that you think it's your first time hearing it?
No.
Okay. All right. So coming across these terms, but before we move forward, how do political forces influence digital marketing? So here we're not talking about companies, but we're talking about digital marketing. How do you think political forces influence digital marketing?
So I think, the textbook provides some insight. It says that the political environment is shaped by the interplay of government agencies, public opinion, consumer pressure groups, organizations, and the interaction between these organizations helps to create a trading environment with established regulations and privacy controls. So that's how I feel uh, political forces influence digital marketing.
Okay. All right. Also, do you know that governments can also control internet, guys? For example, in China, I think Google is controlled. So governments can have an impact on what you search, guys. But we are going to discuss all that throughout this lesson. So political forces can have implications for digital marketing strategy and planning. The political environment is shaped by the interplay of government agencies, public opinion, consumer pressure groups, and industry-backed organizations. So the political environment has many factors that influence trading environments such as taxation, investment, and management of business and public affairs. The government's influence over the economy has an impact on overall economic performance and also business investments. I've seen many scenarios where internet usage is hugely impacted by political factors, especially in Uganda. If not Uganda, it's Ghana, if I remember well. Do you know that there's a 2% tax on social media?
You're joking.
So you pay tax for using social media. Let me quickly have a look if I still remember. So you'd see that to some extent they are trying to limit people's freedom on social media platforms, because if you cannot afford that tax, then it can be difficult for you to be on the internet. That's true, guys. Remember, this happens especially in oppressive countries where government is sort of afraid of what people can do on social media and lead to regime change.
Oh, you're right. It was in Uganda.
Yes, I'm also, as we speak, I'm also searching. So did you come across that? So there's no need for me to share the screen then.
Yes, I just came
They
across
call it OTT tax. Oh, wow, it's actually 12%. I said 2%.
12%. Oh my gosh, I would never be on social media ever.
And that's their motto anyway. They would want people to be exposed to things that may affect the government on social media. So can you see here the second qz.com? Effective 1 July, internet users will pay a 12% tax on data packages, bringing total tax to up to 30%. Can you see that, guys?
Yes.
So this is one of the instances whereby the political factors influence digital marketing strategy. So if you're a social media marketing manager, if you are a digital strategist, you need to be well aware of that and its impact it will have when it comes to your target audience. If people have to pay some certain amount of taxation to be on social media platforms, it will have some impact on how your strategy is delivered on digital marketing platforms such as social media. So that's the impact that the government has on digital marketing strategy and planning. So the political forces can be grouped into political control and democracy. You know, some democratic nations have got free expression and free access to internet. Then there's internet governance, there's taxation, and there's social media and political change. So in conclusion, political forces are closely intertwined with economic forces. For example, the government sets financial goals for South African Reserve Bank, which in turn sets interest rates to control inflation. Therefore, the government's influence over the economy has an impact on overall economic performance and also business investment. As we are discussing, I've just heard that there might be further interest increase very soon by the South African Reserve Bank. Did you come across that, guys?
Yes.
Expect another interest rate hike next week, warns economists. So those are the factors that can influence digital marketing, and they are intertwined. So it is important for digital marketers to be aware that political action ignited through government agencies to control the adoption of the internet includes promoting the benefits of adopting the internet for consumers and businesses to improve a country's economic prosperity, sponsoring research leading to dissemination of best practice amongst brands, research into regulate environment, for example, to protect privacy or control taxation, as well as involvement in setting up international bodies to coordinate the internet. So these are the political factors. Guys, do you know in Zimbabwe, They once shut down the internet.
And then,
Like the whole country could not access the internet, not only social media, but emails, everything, shutting down everything.
I'm sure there was a spike in babies born 9 months after that.
That's all that you think about. Yes, that's probably, it can also happen. So this is what repressive governments would do, because people were protesting and they thought these protests can spread as a result of social media. So they had to shut down the internet. As you can see here, let me just say internet shut down in, and it's not only in Zimbabwe. Can you see countries like emerging there? So people were online. People could not be on WhatsApp, for example. That was in 2019. It was a total internet shutdown. So imagine, guys, it's not because WhatsApp is down, it's not because Facebook is down, but it's because the government ordered all network providers to shut down the internet. So this is clearly a political factor influencing digital marketing strategy. So if you had a campaign that was running on digital marketing platforms in Zim, it means when you measure a campaign, there was zero metrics during that period when the government shut down the internet. So
Wow.
it means that online classes like what we are doing now on that day could not happen because we are using the internet to communicate as we speak.
Were you there when that happened?
Yes, I was there.
And what did you do then whilst this was happening?
Nothing, but the following day, people found ways of being online. They used what we call VPN
Yes, okay.
to
Wow.
bypass yes, to bypass that restriction that was placed by government. Because no, nowadays it's difficult to survive without these things, you know,
Mm.
especially those who do business using social media platforms. There are people who are using WhatsApp business, is their bread and butter. So those are the challenges that you get, especially in repressive government. Remember, I spoke about political control and democracy. So if you're a marketing manager for a global company, you need to be aware of that, because it can have an impact on your traffic on websites or on the pages that you manage.
Yes, and then maybe you would have to think of using traditional ways of marketing to sort of
Yes,
cover up for those parts of restriction.
yes, that's true. That's correct. So that's it about the political forces, guys. Are there any questions?
No.
Obunolo,
Uh,
are there any questions?
no.
Okay. Then in the next lecture, we are going to be looking at the legal forces shaping digital marketing.